and Tom is building Powertrade, a mobile-first crypto options and derivatives platform with a unique DeFi alternative to the Exchange Insurance Fund. Tom also started the DeFi Nation community in 2019 and angel invests in crypto startups with Torian and Metacartel Ventures.
Yeah, I'm Tom. I'm from Powertrade, and what we're doing at Powertrade is we're making it really easy for the everyday trader to trade crypto options. So we have a mobile-first options trading platform. So a bit about us and our team. We've got people with a wide variety of experience in finance, banking, trading, and crypto. So our founder, Mario, he was the original founder of liquid.com exchange. So if you don't know that exchange, they're a large Japanese exchange. They were one of the first ones to get the JFSA license in Japan, and they typically do about $1 billion a day in trading volume. Now, Japan is very, very strict with its regulations. So last year, Mario, decided that the company was all set and the regulations were in place, and he wanted to do some innovative new things. And so we started this new company called Powertrade. We brought in Richard, who's got a lot of experience trading options at Citibank, as well as John, the design officer, and Kostya, who's built out the trading tech. So the reason that we're focusing on crypto options, last year we noticed that the options market was essentially poised for massive growth. So what we expect to see is that in the traditional market, the options volumes are notionally much larger than spot volumes. But what we see right now is that options volumes are tiny compared to spot volumes and futures volumes. And what we saw, so these numbers are actually a bit old. We've seen this thesis playing out over the past 9 months since these numbers were put together. But we've basically been seeing and expected to see a lot of massive growth in the options market. So yeah, it's been quite exciting. So
Tom,
the problem.
Sorry to interrupt you, Tom. Are you looking to present your screen, because we're just seeing your face right now?
Oh, great.
I thought I'd let you know before you go any further.
Yep. Yeah, there was a screen, but I basically said it all. Let me just share it really quickly. Cool. You can see the screen now?
Yeah.
Great. So yes, yeah, this was the team that I covered, and this was the growth that we were charting. So yeah, kind of the reason that we're building what we're building, the current options platforms in crypto are built for pros and built for people that already know what they're doing with options. And so for the normal user, when they look at it, they get really confused. And usually the first thing they do is they see this big spreadsheet of strikes and Greeks and all of that, and they just kind of nope right out of there. So what we're doing is making that interface a lot more approachable, much easier to use UX, and make it easier for them to trade with lower minimums. So we're actually just this week, we've started releasing our product beta. So yeah, I'm gonna do a quick demo for you guys so you can see the products, which we're just starting to roll out. 1 second, let me bring that up on the screen. All right, can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
Great. So yeah, this is the Powertrade app. So when you want to trade options in Powertrade, we have the options chain here, and you select a date. And let's see, I want to go Bitcoin's at 49,000. So let's see. I think it'll go to 60 by March 26th. So I think it'll go past 60. So I'll come in here and I'll buy. Let's see. Buy an option. 4,800. All right. So review it and submit the order, and it's done. So I've just bought a call option for March 26th. So this interface makes it a lot easier for trading on the go, and you can see, it's much more approachable, much better UX than the more professionally geared products. So a bit about where we're headed. So we've just rolled out the beta with buying of calls and puts. Another thing that we're about to release is a proper span margining system. So in the traditional world, you're trading on CME. Your different positions are cross margined with each other. So your perps and your options across different assets are margined properly, so you can do things like hedge your margin positions with options or vice versa. So we're rolling that out. It's something that hasn't really been done properly yet in the crypto space. So that's coming up, and as well, we're working on a multi-collateral system, so you can use any arbitrary collateral for your margin balance. We're also working with X Margin and Paradigm on some of the innovations that they were just talking about in the previous discussion, including RFQ pricing. On our roadmap, so we're launching with Bitcoin options. We'll be rolling out ETH options, perps, and another missing thing in the ecosystem is the ability to buy structured options. So if you want to trade an iron condor or call spread all at once, you'll be able to do that on Powertrade. So that's coming out in the coming months this year. Where we're at right now is we're rolling out the beta. We've got a wait list of about 20,000 people that are ready to use the app. So we're doing like a phased rollouts, building up the liquidity, introducing new features, and aiming for a public launch in March. So the beta is invite only. If anyone wants to check it out, please send me a message, and yeah, I can shoot you the beta invite. So another problem that you commonly face with new exchanges is how do you acquire new users and liquidity? So we're taking some inspiration from a bunch of DeFi projects that have basically bootstrapped liquidity with their tokens. So we have a liquidity mining incentives that we'll be rolling out shortly. So basically creates this virtuous cycle of bringing in new users, bringing in more attention, and bringing in more liquidity, and bootstrapping the liquidity on the exchange. So the token holders get benefits like reduced staking fees, but really the main purpose of the token is that it's a DeFi alternative to an insurance fund. So we looked at what happens when a margin exchange has a solvency problem. And other exchanges in the past, if they don't have an insurance fund, they tend to do things like give all of their users a haircut on their deposits. So that can be quite unpleasant for users. You're basically taking from the winners to pay for the losers that weren't able to cover their position. So that's not a great UX. A bunch of exchanges have introduced an insurance fund in order to cover those positions. And so we've done that in a bit of a more decentralized way. So our token is a fork of Compound, the Compound DAO system. And it essentially governs this treasury that covers risk on margin systems. So it essentially it determines a minimum VAR that it needs to cover the open risk, and it manages the treasury based on the risk that it's covering. So we see this as kind of a progressive decentralization roadmap. So we start with the DAO that covers the margin system, but it is a great way for us to move towards a non-custodial settlement system in the future. Now, we still think that liquidity requires fast and final trade execution. So centralized order books make a lot of sense, but the exchange doesn't actually need to be holding the funds in order to do that sort of trade order execution. So we are researching a non-custodial settlement solution so that we don't have to be in holding users' funds. And yeah, so that's the gist of it. Might have gone a bit fast there, but yeah, can open up to questions.
All right, great. Well, that's a great way to wrap up this section. But that was fascinating, Tom. Even though I've already heard your presentation, I still learned a lot. Great. Anyone else have any questions from the audience before we shift over to our next panel? Howard, I see you're on. Do you have anything for Tom?
No, I think he did a great job. It's always reassuring to have a safe pair of experienced hands presenting, as it's clear that Tom is. Thank you very much for that, Tom.